Welcome back to another episode. So I'm always excited to be with you, El Crypto, to discuss about these passionate topics.
Yeah, it's always nice to be back with you and looking at the altcoins and cryptocurrency for that matter and see where we're going in the short term and the long term. It's nice to be back.
So for this episode, we talk about the Bitcoin dominance, and also we look at the altcoins and what are the coins that people could jump in today. Maybe they are not into Bitcoin. Maybe they are looking into all these altcoins. What maybe they could make bigger profits. So we will discuss about this. And remember, in our past episodes, we talk about Bitcoin technicals. And maybe if you want to see what are the predictions of Bitcoin, maybe you can just look at our previous episodes. So we talk a lot about Bitcoin in a previous episode. So this episode will be less on Bitcoin, but more on altcoins.
Yeah, we're going to look at the altcoins because let's be real, most people are in the space for the altcoins, not so much Bitcoin. Bitcoin's more now for the big players and also trading. But the altcoins is where everybody wants to get rich or make money. So that's why most people are in crypto. It's for the altcoins. And I mean, if you look at the screen, it's absolutely crazy what's happening and what's happened over the past month. Things are down almost 50%. I mean, if you just check that out, that's you can see it's a bloodbath. And so people are wondering if this is the end. Are we going back into a bear market? Should I buy? Which altcoin should I buy? If I'm going to buy, should I sell my bags, etc. So there's a lot of fear out there in the market just over the past week or so. And if we just go over to CoinMarketCap, the fear and greed index, I don't know if you've seen it recently, Hedda.
I would say maybe last week, the fear index would be higher than greed index.
Oh, sure, yeah.
So we're sitting at 22%. Okay.
And last week recorded the lowest recording on the fear and greed index. I didn't realize that, but it was sitting at 10%.
Okay.
It's never gone lower than that. Correct me if I'm wrong, maybe you can let me know in the comments if it has gone, but last week it was the first time to go all the way down to 10%. That's because of various reasons. I mean, the financial system, what's been going on with Mr. Donald Trump and what happened with all of the tariffs, the taxes, etc., in other countries. So there's a lot of geopolitics happening in the market, also in the traditional market. Maybe we could talk about that another time. But right now, we're looking at the cryptocurrency market. So right now, the fear and greed index is sitting at 22%.
A little bit of recovery.
Yeah, and only a few weeks ago, we were in extreme greed. So it just shows how fast and sometimes how fickle we are as people, how emotional we are. Things can just, from one week to the next, it's completely different. That's what I love about cryptocurrency. A lot of people don't like it for the volatility, but for me, I absolutely love it. It's a roller coaster. I've been in the space now for, I can't believe, 8 years. Almost, and it is what it is. This is what happens in bull runs. We do have these giant pullbacks. It's like a reset, ready to go a lot higher. So in terms of the altcoins, normally I speak about the gaming or the AI crypto, and it's taken absolute massive hit. I mean, the first one, IMX, I think it's the top gaming coin, is down 40%. Over the year, I've got a bag of that. VeChain for the supply chain is down 40%. So that's not in AI for gaming, but the supply chain 40%. What else do we have? Garland is down 40%. Sandbox is down 40%. And yeah, it's right across the board. It hasn't been good. It's not nice to see this. But one piece of advice, not financial advice, is if you're new to crypto, don't look at your portfolio every single day, especially during pullbacks. Why do I say that? Because most likely you will panic and you will sell. I mean, that's just my thought. I don't know what your...
But I think that is good advice. Again, we also, you said this in our episode last year as well. People also, they need to define a strategy well in advance about their portfolio. How long they think that they want to stay in the market, because if you have a plan, then you are more likely to stick to that plan. But then if you don't have any plan defined, then maybe, you just get emotional. As you mentioned, if you just look at your portfolio that is just decreasing every single day, then you're just going to panic, and you may have a panic sell. But I definitely think it's a good advice.
Yeah. So if you're down, I mean, all of us are down almost 50% in our portfolio. So what can you do? I can't tell you what to do. What I'm doing right now is, because I believe that we're going towards the end of the cycle, I'm happy with my current positions. So I'm not buying anything. I'm just waiting. And then worst case scenario, if it is the end and we go lower, then I'm just going to wait for the next cycle. I don't care. I'll just start dollar cost averaging probably the end of this year, going into the next cycle. On the flip side, if it's just a pullback and we go higher, then great. My portfolio is going to do 5, 10, 15x. Who knows what could happen? But the point is, now it's, if you're jumping in, what I would say, I did tell one of my friends, because he wanted to start jumping in January. I told him, and not to, especially because he's never really heard of crypto, and just as soon as people that are not interested in crypto start talking about it, alarm bells should start ringing, thinking, okay, is this the top? So it wasn't financial advice. Hopefully this friend of mine didn't jump into it, or if he has, then, and it is still the bull run, then if he starts now, everything's down 50%.
Yeah, but even myself, like when I was on Fridays, so someone also asked me, it was last December, if it was the right time to jump in the market, and then also I gave the same advice. I said, if you've ever been in the market, December wasn't, like, exactly at the end of December wasn't the ideal time to get into the market.
It was too overheated.
Yeah. And then I say, well, let's just wait until the first quarter this year to see maybe what are the trends. And then after, maybe we can try to position yourself. So even now, like March, like I don't know what you're thinking about that, but for me, given the recent trend, I would still say that for a beginner, is way better. Just maybe just to wait until things are a little bit calmer before you can get yourself in.
The positive is, now if you are thinking about jumping into it, things down 50-60%. So, but having said that, tomorrow it still can go down 50% again, for sure. So the market was well overheated at the end of last year, and one indicator, when you look at the Fear and Greed Index, it was in greed and extreme greed for weeks and weeks, and that shows that very, very soon we're going to basically have a collapse. And that's what's happened.
But again, you are saying, like, if you're a beginner, maybe just wait a little bit. It also depends on how long the person wants to stay in the market.
Of course, everyone's got different time.
Exactly. Because if you want to stay in the market maybe for the next 10 years, maybe it doesn't matter too much if you wait a little bit now, or if you go in the market maybe in December.
Yeah.
I mean, because like this waiting time compared to me staying 10 years in the market won't make too much of a difference.
Yeah, some are here only for 4 years, or...
Yeah, and it depends on how long you want to stay in the market. You also might also have an impact from maybe when will be the best idea to enter into the market.
And that's the reason why, for myself, if I do go and get into crypto, I'll probably wait a little bit longer. But I'm in it for the long term, like the next 10 years. So I'll just be waiting for confirmation that we're going back into a bear market, and I'll start dollar cost averaging again. But that's just my way of doing it.
I mean, personally, I'm also waiting to be back again in the bear market before I start jumping into different strategies, like namely the dollar cost average, for instance.
So one of the worst things you could do right now is, if, again, not financial advice, if you start buying crypto right now, and then we just constantly keep going down, we have 10, 20, 50%, and you're just going to be wasting your money. But it depends on you.
Depends on your
Time frame. If you're in it for the next 10 years and you start dollar cost averaging today, then look at us.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah.
But if you're here for only the next 1 or 2 years, then you're going to lose money, I'm afraid. So it depends on your time frame. If you're here for long term, then yeah, why not dollar cost average right now? Stick to your strategy, and you should be fine. But it's not easy. There's a reason why 95% people don't make money in crypto. It's because of these reasons that we see today. Majority, I would say 8 to 9% are actually out of it now. And there's only a few left in the crypto space. So just looking at the Bitcoin dominance before we look at the altcoins, I don't know if you've looked at the dominance in a while.
Don't think so.
So I'm going to get the candlesticks out for the Bitcoin dominance. So for me, I mean, the dominance is still at 61%, which is way too high. And, we haven't had an altcoin rally. We've had altcoin rally, sorry. We haven't had a real altcoin season. And I've had some people reply to some of my videos saying, oh, we've had altcoin season. We haven't. The only time we have an altcoin season is when the Bitcoin dominance plunges down like we saw in 2020, 2021. And the dominance went from 70, I think it was like 70%, and we came all the way down to 40%. So it was a 30% decrease in the Bitcoin dominance. And that's when we saw the altcoins. And I remember one of my altcoins, it did a 20x. I sold too early, and it ended up doing 100x. That's an altcoin season. When you see your portfolio every day doing a 2x for 2, 3, 4 weeks, not just a week, but it's consistently multiplying 2x, 2x, 2x almost every day.
But now let me ask, like, do you think that it will always, Bitcoin dominance will always fall to 40%? I mean, I think what I'm asking is like, in every cycle, will that dominance pattern repeat itself?
So for example, when Bitcoin was new, the dominance was off the chart. I think it was 90% plus. But that's because there was hardly any altcoins. There was only Ethereum, another Ripple, XRP, Cardano, what else? Stellar, Zcash, many different ones back then. And so there was only a few hundred cryptocurrencies. Do you know how many cryptocurrencies there are right now?
I'll say 10,000?
12 million. So you see, the problem is it's like trying to find a diamond in the rough now. 12.1 million projects. And this figure has gone up 2 million within the last, I think, 2 months. So, it's difficult to, that's why now in altcoins it's really it's difficult to find what to buy, what to get into. That's why it's safer, which we'll look at, the top 20.
Yeah. But I mean, like, you have millions of projects, but most of them will come, and they're going to disappear after a few days.
Exactly. Some will just go out. Most will go out of existence. But looking at the dominance, the reason why I think 40% will be, I don't think we'll go lower than 40% in terms of Bitcoin dominance, is because when we had the altcoin rally 2017-18, the dominance went from 90% down to 40%. And then again, the last cycle, 2021, 2022, we went from 70% down to 40%. So 40% seems to be the limit. Okay. So right now we're at 61%. So I think the bottom would be 40% again, but that's just me. If that happens, if we go from 60% to 40%, that's 20% drop in the dominance. That means the altcoins will absolutely explode. And I think we're going to have one of the biggest altcoin seasons we've ever had.
And what do you place that? Like, I mean, for this year, when do you think that this altcoin season, when will it happen? Like in the summer, before the summer, or even after?
Normally, first of all, the indicator is Bitcoin needs to lead the way. So we spoke about that in the last episode. If Bitcoin does over the next 8 weeks go towards 120, 150, maybe even 200,000, then usually it's about 2 to 4 weeks after that the altcoins absolutely explode. Now, of course, while Bitcoin is traveling upwards, the altcoins travel up with it. But the 10x's, the 20x's, even the 50, 100x's happen maybe 3 to 4 weeks after the all-time high, or when Bitcoin reaches its peak. So people start gambling more. People have made so much money in Bitcoin, the top 10, top 20. they start gambling. They start putting their profits into the mid caps, the micro caps, and that's because there's less money in the micro caps. That it doesn't take that much money for it to do a 10, 20x, and that's what you see happen towards the end of a market cycle.
So you had to wait until possibly, I mean, as you explained in the last video, Bitcoin could go up to 150. So you have to wait until this happens first, and then possibly,
Yeah, or the indicator.
possibly the altcoin may have their rally. But then now, suppose that Bitcoin never reaches the 150.
Yeah.
So could we still expect an altcoin season?
Less likely. I think we could have altcoin rallies, maybe in certain genres of altcoins, maybe in AI. Remember the DeFi summer that we had in 2020 or 2021? I don't remember if it was 2020 or 2021. We had a DeFi summer, July, August, where DeFi was just outperforming Bitcoin, the rest of the space. Some projects, people becoming millionaires over summer because of it. So in terms of, maybe different categories of altcoins, we'll still have altcoin rallies. I mean, we had the meme coin rally of last year. We had AI, I think it was 2 years ago, back in January, February. We had AI, not like really go crazy, but I remember seeing some projects go up thousands of %. But in terms of an altcoin season where everything is going up, we haven't had it yet since the last cycle.
So we had to wait and see what happens.
So in terms of the altcoins then, if we just stick to a few of them, I don't know what you're looking at in the top 10, top 20 coins, if you remember. What is in the top 10?
Well, like I look at the chart and wow. But if I have to thought from the top of my mind now,
What would you buy?
the top 10, I would say Ethereum,
Sure, second.
Solana.
Solana's sitting at 6th. So for me, Solana would be a good one to jump into if you're thinking about getting into it, not financial advice. Solana's sitting at $140. And I think we could easily go to 1,000 with Solana if the cycle continues. I think Solana can do a 7 to 10x.
So VeChain, I'm sure, is in this top 10.
VeChain is not in the top 10. VeChain is sitting all the way down 41st position.
Okay.
It's at 2 cents. And again, VeChain's good shout out. The all-time high last time was around 28 cents, I think.
Now, what is the market cap?
Obviously, the market cap was lower back then. The current market cap of VeChain is 2.2 billion.
I guess, it's quite high. It's quite high.
And the all-time high was 28 cents.
I mean, something has always surprised me about VeChain is that I don't think this will ever happen, but I felt like it never got to its
Potential.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I'm the only one thinking that, but when you look at the project, when you look at what it can do,
I think it's a sleek and giant.
you sure?
Yeah. It hasn't completely died out, but I think for what it is, the technology it is, it's the supply chain, I think it is a sleeping giant and it will go back up to its all-time high.
Well, let's see. So Sabi, it's an clear. So no, still looking at the top 10.
Or top 20. Yeah, top 20.
What about this coin that got delisted? Now it's back again. The coin that was that had this court case with the American.
It wasn't Binance, was it?
No.
Look at check. You mean Ripple?
Yeah, Ripple. XRP. Yeah.
XRP is still in the top 10. It's 4th.
Yeah.
I'm saying at $2.25.
So XRP.
We had a Ripple season at the end of last year. If you don't if you've forgotten about that, but we did have a bit of a rally because of the law case it won, the lawsuit it won. But it's not completely out of the woods yet. That's the thing. So people jumped into it thinking that it won completely, but it hasn't.
So I mean, no, XRP, given all these court cases that they had, and then still at the fourth position, it shows what the potential of XRP. It shows
Cyber.
yeah, because if eventually this court case is completely won over, then I mean, we can even expect XRP maybe to go to third position.
It's holding up pretty well, despite having that huge pullback of Bitcoin and the rest of the altcoins. It's still sitting at, yes, it hasn't done too bad. If we look at the crypto bubbles, and I just pull out XRP, I think we're down. Let's have a look. For the month, we're down 27%.
Yeah,
which is, but for a year, we're up 275%.
yeah.
So it's not too shabby.
So lastly, back to this top 10 top 20, I will also put Dogecoin somewhere.
Dogecoin is 8.
Dogecoin, Shiba Inu.
Shiba is in the 19, so in the top 20.
Okay.
You've got Litecoin, you've got Avalanche. Chainlink is an interesting one, sitting at $14. I think the bottom was around $5, so that's the thing. Some people have been in crypto now for a few years, or the dollar cost average over the bear market. So even though we've had a 30 to 50% pullback, they're still in the profits, or some are broken even. So they're not panicking as much. But if you're new to crypto and you started buying at the end of last year or early this year, then you're down. I mean, you got absolutely wrecked. So what could you do? What would you do in that situation?
I know. We don't like, it's true. Psychologically, you want to get out of it because you feel like the longer you stay, the loss will go on and increase.
Yeah.
But if you rather stick to what you have and then you decide to stay in the market, then you will see all the profit. I mean, all the loss, you'll be able to recover them. I know if what I'm saying is making sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like you feel like jumping out of the market because that's psychologically what you're impelled to do. But this is the moment where you have to push through it and stay. That will recover your losses.
So in terms of like the categories, and so the top, if you're new to crypto, or you're wondering, even if you're not new to crypto and you're wondering what do I dollar cost average into, the safe bets would be the top 10, top 20.
Yeah.
For my take, I would go straight into, I mean, Ethereum, it hasn't done that well this cycle. It hasn't really done much. I mean, went to 4,000, but it hasn't outperformed Bitcoin. It's been a bit of a letdown in terms of market price. But you've got, for me, Solana is a no-brainer. Avalanche, Chainlink, and I think, yeah, they're the only three that I would actually consider. Yeah, they're the only three that I would consider dollar cost average into.
So if you are new to crypto and then if you want to jump into altcoins, so maybe these top three are what you can look at. So Solana,
Avalanche,
and Chainlink.
and with Solana and Avalanche, I mean, if we want to go into depth and do more research into it, maybe another video, we can look at Solana and Avalanche. But if you look at the ecosystems, you've got hundreds, thousands of different cryptocurrencies within the Solana ecosystem and the Avalanche ecosystem. So what happens is when Solana AVAX pump 10x in the ecosystem, everything follows a bit like Bitcoin. When it pumps, altcoins follow. Solana AVAX, when it pumps, then these lower cap coins, mid cap coins will pump even more. So if you want to look inside of the ecosystem, then you can do that as well. Personally, I'm looking at in the Solana ecosystem, even the AVAX, gaming and AI coins, because I think AI will be the narrative of the market. I've said that many times over the last year, and gaming will always be around. So maybe we can look at that in another episode, looking at what AI coins I'm looking at and what gaming tokens I'm looking at. And I think that's pretty much it for the other coins. Nothing more much to say, but the fact that it is a bumpy ride, it is a bit of a roller coaster, and it is what it is in crypto. Welcome to crypto if you're new. If not, then just keep having a bit of endurance, and yeah, just waiting it out sometimes is the best. Being patient and taking a step back, maybe just get away from crypto, don't look at your portfolio, and just wait for that next rally, because I think the rally will hit hard. It's just around the corner, and it'll take people by surprise. Most people have exited the market now, which for me indicates we'll probably have a rally very, very soon.
Have a last question. So when we are talking about altcoin, so do we still talk about Ethereum as being part of these altcoins? Because sometimes we do talk about Ethereum as being a little bit separated now, because it's true, it started as being part of this altcoin. But are we thinking about also when you're talking about this altcoin season that's around the corner, are we talking about Ethereum also being part of it?
Yeah. I think Ethereum has to also, Bitcoin leads the way, and I think Ethereum has to also lead the way for the rest of the altcoins. Because if Ethereum goes past, it does well, then normally it's an indicator that the altcoin season is here and the rest of the space. I think that's what we're waiting for as well, was for Ethereum to blow up. And it didn't really.
And I think that you maybe take something, maybe it's a chain, maybe in the Ethereum project for it to do that well, or
I'm not sure what's been going on with Vitalik and the Ethereum company, but yeah, people are going over to alternatives like Solana and other cryptocurrencies. But yeah, for me, as soon as Bitcoin gets going, Ethereum will be a big indicator for the rest of the altcoins as well. But it's still an altcoin. I mean, altcoins are alternative coins other than other than Bitcoin, and Ethereum is one of them. So yeah, it's just my
yeah, but it's always interesting. I mean, last year, I feel like among all the coins, Solana was one of the most outperforming. And I mean, we'll see this year if it continues that trend, or if maybe there's another coin that, will supersede Solana. We'll have to wait and see. But anyway, it was an interesting discussion to have about these altcoins, the Bitcoin dominance. I hope you enjoyed as much as I did. Yeah, and so let us know in the comment what you think about this episode. Let us know if you think that the altcoin season will happen this year, and we'll be really happy to know what you think about this episode. So as for us, see you maybe in another episode.
See you next time. Bye bye.